Hi everyone! It's been a few weeks since I saw a movie in the theater, so it's just really great to be back on my channel, and I've got a movie review for you today. So welcome to my thoughts of War for the Planet of the Apes, which I did see in 3D tonight with some friends in a nice big theater. Not IMAX, but a nice big huge theater. Before I start this review, I do want to give a shout out to my good friend Troy. He didn't get a chance to make the movie with us tonight, but he did go out of his way to get the tickets for us, and also get the tickets that I'm going to see the movie when I see another movie next week. He got the tickets for that as well. So I love you, man. I'm wishing you well, and I hope to see you soon and hang out with you, and hopefully we can go do something fun together. Yes. All right, everyone. So War of the Planet of the Apes, of course, is part of now a 9-film franchise. But this is really part of a new trilogy of movies inside this massive franchise. And I love the Planet of the Apes. I grew up on these movies, especially, of course, the first original one with Charlton Heston. And I saw most of the other ones as I got older in life, and I really enjoyed, even though it's ridiculous and lots of bad stuff, but really great makeup, I really enjoyed the 2001 film the remake directed by Tim Burton. But of course, that was a flop in a lot of people's eyes. Even though it did make some money, it didn't really ignite the franchise again. But in 2011, surprise, they made Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and it turned out to be a really good movie. I was shocked. And I'm seeing the movie again at home, and it's still a really good movie. But then in 2014, when Dawn of the Planet of the Apes came out, it was like, wow, there's new life in this franchise. How did they find it? This is amazing. I mean, this is such an interesting concept. Of course, it was originally based on a novel. And now we get supposedly the final film in this trilogy, but I do imagine it will continue on, especially if this film makes money. This is supposedly the final film of this trilogy, with Caesar as the big star of the movie, of course played by Andy Serkis, one of the best actors who doesn't get a lot of credit sometimes, especially from the award people out there, Hollywood, who are just a bunch of idiots and just make the Oscars more of a joke every day. I just think Andy Serkis is a great actor, and I think he should have been nominated, at least a nomination of some kind, for this role, especially in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and Rise of the Planet of the Apes. He's just really amazing in these films, and he's just a great actor. And maybe we don't see his actual face on screen, but we see his actual face on screen with all that digital effects. Anyways, so War of the Planet of the Apes is, of course, a continuation of what we've already seen in that trilogy. How did I feel about the movie now that I've watched it, and now that I've talked for how long? Okay, just 3 minutes. And now I can get into the actual feelings about this movie. I do also want to mention that Woody Harrelson is in the movie, and then there's also a bunch of other actors. I'm only going to mention another one because I really want to talk about his performance in the movie. And there's a young actress in here as well. It's a new young actress that I think this is her first role in the film, a young girl. I do want to talk about her. I don't remember her name at the moment, but I want to talk about her as well. So those are the people that do star in the movie. Okay, now how did I feel about this film? Well, as someone who appreciates where this film is going, and of course the first film, I don't remember who it was, Rupert Watt I think it was, or maybe it was a different director, but then Matt Reeves, who took over the franchise in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, or Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, or whatever, Planet of the Apes, who directed Cloverfield, and he did Let Me In, and I think he might be doing the new Batman movie, but I really don't know for sure. He just is one of the best genre filmmakers working today. He understands story and characters, and then brings it in a great mainstream way. And I really do appreciate that. It's so fascinating. And it really worked, especially with Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And of course, if you haven't seen Matt Reeves' other films, I do highly recommend you check them out. So I was very excited that he was making this movie. And he returns. He is just continually making great cinema, especially for a mass-wide audience. A big summer movie, a big action movie with great characters, great special effects, an interesting story, great dynamic between the apes and the humans. I don't know where the franchise is going to go from here. I don't know if it'll be at this level where Dawn, and now I have to say this film is this war film, which I almost want to call it something else, but then that would probably give away some of the plot of the movie, which I really don't want to. But I think War for the Planet of the Apes is a great title. and does live up to the film itself, being the title of the film. But the movie just has so much working for it, and really takes its time, not only to give you something visually, and it's really great to get something visually and give you some characters that you sympathize with, though they may be good or bad, and I got engulfed into this film. I was emotionally entangled into this movie. I liked how it seemed to tie into where the franchise goes. And of course, I'm guessing it's going to lead up to Charlton Heston someday showing up on screen. I don't know if it'll be Charlton Heston CGI himself or a character something like that, but I don't know where they're headed to next. But I like some of the things that are in this film that I believe tie into the future of whatever's going to happen. I don't really know, and the movie does a good job to leave a lot of mystery to that as well. Again, that's just my thoughts about it, especially some things that I hear about the film. I love Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis is so brilliant in this movie. Oh my gosh, it's an incredible acting job. An acting job that the Academy, even though I think the Oscars, especially this year's Oscars, proved that the Oscars are a complete joke and fake, and it's all pre-planned, pretty much. He's not going to get nominated, and it makes me sad that at least he's not going to get nominated, because he deserves it. Even though, who cares about awards in the end, but just the acknowledgement for Andy Serkis. And I think a lot of people still do appreciate him, and they talk about him and his great acting style, but it almost feels like we're talking about it. The fans are talking about it, not the press, not the Academy, not the movie industry, not the Hollywood movie industry. It seems like the fans really do appreciate what Andy Serkis has done on screen. Like the fans, here's an award from the fans, because his performance in this film is award worthy. It's so emotional, and how he connects with the other apes and the humans in this film. Woody Harrelson is very convincing as this very vile, vicious villain that I at times I did sympathize with and also disagree with. I did like that I cared about him a little bit, and then I didn't as we got to know him. So Woody Harrelson is great in the film. But the biggest surprise in this movie, of course, the young actress. I don't remember the young actress's name, and I probably could look it up right now. I don't remember her name, and I'll try and look it up and just check it out. At least acknowledge, her in her name and stuff like that, because I thought she was really great, because she had to do a lot by almost doing nothing. She had to do a lot, and it just was so convincing with what she had to go through, and especially her first big performance. Of course, again, if I talk about it too much, I'm going to give too much away. But there was a big surprise that came from a really great actor named Steve Zahn. I think his name is Steve Zahn. Is that right? Yeah, Steve Zahn. He was just a fabulous actor, and he plays a character. Again, I didn't know that was going to be in the movie. And so I don't want to really talk about that too much, because that might spoil some things. But I just really loved that character. This is a dark movie. This is a very sad movie at times. It's very intense. It has some great action. There's a lot of emotion. The movie handles everything in a way that's not just a dumbed down action movie, but a thoughtful drama at the same time, a thoughtful commentary on life, what if this was real? What if this possibly could happen, kind of thing. Even though I don't really believe that, but what if it possibly could happen, where apes could take over the world, and how would humans react to it, and how would the apes react to when they're being treated the way they are, And so the movie turns into almost like more of a dramatic piece than anything else. The drama is thick. It's thick. You just really feel how thick the drama is. Now, the young actress in here in the film, Amia Miller, she just was really good at, again, you want to talk about certain things, and you almost like, I'll do a spoiler review, which probably will never happen. But I thought that she was very convincing, and some of the moments that she has with Caesar and the rest of the apes were very touching and emotional. And you really care about some of the humans, not all the humans in this film, but you care about some of the humans in the movie. Of course, you care more about the apes in the film and what they go through. I just appreciated that it's not some dumb action movie, that that it's really trying not only to be an entertaining film, but also have a little bit something to say, but doesn't feel too preachy or in your face. I didn't feel like that was too much in the film. I felt like, there were some things that, I could question a little bit, maybe with some of the plot or stuff like that, and maybe that didn't make so much sense, or maybe I didn't like that so much. But I didn't care about that because they really gave you a beautiful looking and beautifully felt movie with some rich characters, some amazing special effects. When you see a movie that's got bad special effects, you got to understand, like, what's wrong? Look what these guys can do. Of course, maybe they have the money, but of course, they waste a lot of money in some films, and the special effects is terrible. So I don't know. I don't know how it all works in the end, but you understand that there's definitely love and care attended to this film. You get that. There are a few times a few tears were shed. I liked how real this movie felt. It felt like it wasn't on a set at all. It actually felt like we were out there in the snow, in the forest. It felt like that they hired a bunch of actors and dressed them up as monkeys and apes and gorillas and orangutans. It just looks so real. Just like it looks so real. And of course you expect that, especially from the last three films, where the technology has gone. I know I could talk more about this movie, but this review has gone on way too long. But I really I love this film. I've only seen this year. I've only seen, I think, about 65 movies this year in the theater, and so I haven't seen a lot of movies. So of course, this in my opinion may not be as valid as maybe yours when it comes to, because maybe you've seen more movies than I have this year. But out of the 62 or 65 movies that I've seen this year, this is the best film that I personally have seen in 2017. Now, again, I haven't seen everything yet, so that could change by the end of 2017. But right now, as of the 14th of July, 2017, there's no watch there or anything, this is the best film of 2017, in my opinion, and I congratulate this team of talented filmmakers, actors and actresses and crew and directors and music. Oh, Michael Giacchino. Where can I get this score, man? Where can I buy the score? I want to find this movie score. Of course, I can probably go online and try and find it. But this is a beautiful score that not only feels epic, like almost feels like the score a little bit homage to the score from the original 1968 film, but also from Hollywood when they were making those big epics like The Ten Commandments and Ben-Hur, Charlton Heston. Maybe he was, there in some way. It's just, and then at other times it was just very emotional and sweet. I just felt like this is one of the best scores that I've heard in a long time. Okay, so those are some of my thoughts. Of course, if I continued on, this video would be a whole hour long, and I don't want that to happen. In the comment box below, how did you feel about this brand new Planet of the Apes movie? Is this your personal favorite one? Yeah, this is definitely up there with my, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, the original Planet of the Apes from 1968. I believe I liked the fourth film a lot, and I even enjoyed the third film from the original 5 films a lot. Those are some of my favorites. Rise is great, but this is pretty up there as definitely one of the best of this franchise. So that his surprise. It's just great that they can really show us something we haven't seen before in a franchise that we've seen a lot before. So I do really appreciate that. And I also want to mention that I feel like maybe not right now, but definitely 20 years from now, this movie will be looked at as one of the finest science fiction movies in the history of cinema. That's really what I believe. So I love this film. It's one of the best films that I've seen all year. The best film that I've seen this year, as I should say. And I really appreciate the friends that I got a chance to see with tonight. It was really great, and thank you so much for being there. And thank you so much for watching this review. I am going to give, 3D. Don't go see it in 3D. You don't really need to see it in 3D because the movie looks good on its own. There you go. I'm going to give War for the Planet of the Apes. I believe that's the title of the film. Sometimes I get a little confused. I'm going to give the film a solid 4 stars out of 4.